Ready.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. Here we are. My story, very normal people. And today we have a guest in our show. His name is David Essel. Welcome, David.
Arthur, great to be with you. And I'm right on board, brother. Everything that we can do as normal people in this crazy world, we need to be doing. So I'm glad to be a part of your program. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining our program. David, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. I've been in the business of counseling for 42 years. I started out in sports psychology. In 1980, I decided to transfer into what's called general counseling or general therapy, where I work with everything, Arthur. I mean, I still have some major league athletes I work with, but that's only about 10% of my work. Most of my work is with very normal people that are struggling with anxiety or depression, maybe weight or addiction. They're struggling with relationship issues or career challenges or financial challenges. So in 1990, we blew the board wide open, and we started working with every type of challenge in the world today. And we continue to. I still have a great love for the sports and for athletes. But I found that the gifts that I was given to help people heal needed a much bigger audience. So, that's when we made the switch in 1990. From then till today, we've been working with people from all over the world, as a matter of fact. But I want to make this important point, because a lot of times when individuals are watching an interview with someone like myself, I've been doing this work a long time. We have 12 books out, 5 of them #1 bestsellers, but that's not the full story. I was an alcoholic and a cocaine addict for 30 years. I attempted suicide in 1990. I thankfully was not successful in my suicide attempt. So I bring these points up, Arthur, because I think it's so important for people to realize that a lot of teachers like myself, whether they're counselors or teachers in a school or whatever they might be, part of our gift is the struggle that we've gone through and overcome. So for people that are watching this and, they go, oh, here's this guy with 12 books and 5 bestsellers and everything, yeah, that's a part of our story, but I'm a very normal person. I love the title of your show. I've gone through hell. In the last 12 months, both of my parents have died. My father died 10 days ago. So I'm a very normal person. I go through grief. I go through stress. I go through loss. But on the other side of all of that, Arthur, and this is what I've found, is that every incredible challenge I've gone through and every failure I've faced has helped me immensely help others.
That should be very interesting, talking with you, because you're not just a person of writing, but also you have experienced yourself. So you know what is the meaning of going from one step to the other one to be released or to be healed in this area, right?
And Arthur, 30 years ago, I created a grieving program to help people move through grief, and it was a very successful program. But I want to tell you something, and to back up what you just said, that was theoretical. I had not lost my mom and dad. I had not lost a brother and sister. I had gone through the normal of losing grandparents and uncles and all that stuff, but never a core family member. In the last 4 years, my mom and dad have both been in hospice for 4 years. They were incredibly ill. It was outrageously challenging. And the last 4 years, Arthur, has taught me so much more about death and dying and grieving than I ever learned in my school or all of my years of experience in helping people to grieve. And we are writing a brand new book right now. Even though my father's only been gone 10 days, I already have an outline for a brand new book that's probably 80% different in the work of grief than what I've been teaching up until the last 4 years. So this new book is all on experience, just what you said, and it's going to be so much more powerful and so much more effective because of my personal experience with death, dying, and grief that I didn't have before this current time.
So can you please share with us just even a little bit of that, how how are you doing in these challenges moments, let's say? Is it?
Yeah, Ar- Arthur, when most people talk about grieving, and most counselors and therapists like myself talk about it, we get stuck on the mourning part, mourning. We get stuck on the sadness. We get stuck on the tears. We get stuck on the regrets. I didn't get a chance to tell my loved one everything I wanted to tell. I never got a chance to apologize. And so we get stuck in this negativity of grieving. And what I found, and the title of our new book that I'm writing on right now is called The Secret of Grief: From Loss and Sadness to Gratitude and Unconditional Love. And what I found, as strange as this might sound, is, my mom died of dementia, which is a hellacious disease. And it ripped my mom. Her personality was destroyed. She was the sweetest Mother Teresa. She was my greatest fan. In the last couple of years of her life, she couldn't communicate very much. And she would go into rage because that's part of dementia. And I saw sides of my mom I never thought I would ever see. But here's the thing that transformed me, Arthur, and I'm so excited about this new book. I fell deeper in love with my mother during her illness and her death than I had in the 62 years before she went through this terrible situation. My heart was blown wide open. I found compassion I never knew was there. And I also found this. I found an adoration for my mother. I found this worship of my mother. And, I've written articles, and these articles will be in this book on grieving, the new book. Arthur, and I was a very terrible child. And I say that without a smile. Or I was a bad child, a bad teenager. There was a lot of things. I began drinking at 12. My parents really struggled with me. But this is what I found through my mom's suffering and death. I am so much like my mom today. What she taught me as a kid, now this is going to sound so inconsequential to most people, but my mom would pull my clothes out as a child and put them out the night before. She would have my gym bag out the night before. She had my lunches made the night before. Arthur, at 66, I do the same things that my mom taught me when I was 10 years of age, for God's sake. I'm honoring my mom in every way possible. My fiance, Mia, and I just dug this incredible garden to celebrate my mom and to keep her in our life. And here's some things that I've learned through my experiences with my mom and dad's passing. In my experience, Arthur, we can keep our loved ones with us for eternity. There's all these teachings that say once the spirit goes, it goes. And that's not true, Arthur. I have found that my mom has been with me for the complete last year. I have had experiences. This is going to sound really crazy to a lot of people, but my mom has come and visited me while I'm in a conscious state, not asleep, not a dream. And I have had conversations with her. Mia, my fiance, has been right next to me when this has happened. Things that I really wasn't sure were true, Arthur, I'm now finding out are true. And I'm also finding out that it's an everlasting relationship. And the way it's everlasting is that we have to actually reach out to those who have passed over, and we invite them into our daily life. I write a letter to my mom and now my dad every evening, telling them about my day. I welcome them. I say, hey, listen, if you want to come as a cardinal, as a hawk, if you want to come as any animal and surprise me, come on and visit. If you want to come to me in a dream, come in dreams, however you want to come to me. And what I've found, Arthur, is that our consistent worshiping of my mom and dad, our consistent communication with them keeps the relationship alive. I mean, and let me tell you, when my mom died, the first 10 months was hell on earth for me. I was in so much pain for 10 months. I worried about where she was and how she was doing. I missed her so dramatically. She was my greatest cheerleader. As a child addict, alcoholic, she never kicked me out of the house, Arthur. I started building this outrageous love relationship deeper than it was when she was alive. And so many people need to know this. They need to hear this. You are forgiven by your loved ones who have passed over. You don't have to carry the guilt. You don't have to carry the anger. And we will teach people in this new book how to go from loss, because it's true. You have to sit in that loss, to sadness. Yes, you have to process that sadness. But then we're going to take you on how to reach gratitude and how to reach unconditional love with those who have passed over. And if you so choose, maybe set a pathway to reconnect with them while you're still here in the physical world. And this message is so crucial, Arthur. It has brought such calmness to my heart. And I know it will to millions of people when the book comes out.
So in this frame, I would like to ask you a question. Nowadays, the family is a little bit, the kids go away, and now if they call their parents in 1 month, or sometimes depends. Now it's like it's a little bit different, at least what has been earlier. So what would you say to people which already they have their parents? What they can do different?
Oh, what a great question. Listen, last June, and this is something I tell every man to do. Last June, when my dad was really ill, we flew back to spend some time with him. Now, he just passed 10 days ago, but I wanted to see him so badly. And he was able to talk. Okay. So we were really good. He was very ill and a lot of pain, but he could hear and talk and think. Every man, as long as you have a relationship that isn't extremely negative with your father, if your father is alive, this is the time to go and talk to him. I don't care if you're 15 and you never talk to your dad, or you're 70 and your dad is still alive. Go and share. I was able in June to tell my dad things he never knew that I struggled with. I was able to tell him, Arthur, how he radically changed my life by watching his strength, by watching his faith, by watching his integrity. I was able to tell him how he has transformed me as a man, as I watched him suffer, losing his wife of 71 years. He sat in the same house with my mom, who was non-communicative pretty much, and he loved her and he held her hand. And I went and told him after my mom passed what a powerful man he was. Now, Arthur, my father was only about 5'4" and he weighed about 110 pounds. And I told him how powerful he was and what a role model, like I was able to do that. And I want all men to get more intimate with their fathers. And I want to show you something. This is the book that is the companion to our program that we're giving away, helping all Americans heal, but it's really helping the world to heal. In this book, I have an article, Arthur, on what I just said, the importance of men. And the name of the article is Men, the Missing Link with Your Father. Mm-hmm. Here's the shocker. I'm sitting there thinking my dad is not an emotional guy. He's an accountant. He's, dying, but he's still here mentally. Arthur, he was able to receive every word of gratitude. He was able to receive every apology I gave to him. He was so present. And he did this for me, Arthur. We spoke for 30 minutes. He had tears, but he never took his eyes off of my eyes. I had tears. I never took my eyes off of my dad's eyes. And every man that has a chance to do this, do it. You're going to be amazed. Now, you may not get the exact response you want from your dad. That's not the point. The point is to be intimate, to be open, to be honest, because you never know when your dad might leave. And please do this before they have a chance to leave, if you can. And if they've left, write them letters. Write them letters, burn them, send them up into the sky, and do the same thing with your mom. Men and women need to be more intimate with their parents while they're here, if possible. And if not, you can still create intimacy by writing to them when they passed on. I believe they're still around, Arthur. I believe everything I think and say about my mom and dad, they are hearing right now. People don't have to agree with me, and that's okay. But for those that do, I'm going to tell you this. It will open your heart in ways you never imagined possible.
Yeah. That's a really powerful story. let's go a little bit more outside of the house, let's say. So how in this COVID time, all this pain and people dying, it has been okay. I have no words. You already know that. I don't have to explain to you what is going on around the world. So how did you manage to help people who have uh, this kind of who need healing?
Yeah. Well, the very first thought when we created the program that we're giving away now, Helping Americans Heal, it's really helping the world heal. How it started was a couple years ago, Arthur. I was having veterans of war come to me, and they'd returned from war and they were battling with PTSD, demons, addiction, anxiety, depression. And they would come to me, but they didn't have the money. And counseling can be expensive for several people. It can end up costing more money than maybe people have. So we're getting these people come to us, and then COVID hits, and we're having all these people coming, but they don't have any money. And I said, my God, my purpose here on earth is to help people heal. Screw the money. Let's create something so powerful that we give people tools. And listen to this, Arthur, where they can start to heal themselves. So we created Helping Americans Heal, or Helping the World Heal. And every week, people that join, and it's absolutely free, 100% free. Every week, they're going to get an article on how to deal with anxiety, or a video interview like this. Arthur, this video interview will be sent out to everyone in this program, okay? Because it's a healing video. So we'll have healing videos. When people sign up, they get our #1 best-selling book, Positive Thinking, right away. And remember, this is not costing anyone a penny. You're going to get a sleep audio. If you have trouble with insomnia, I have a sleep audio. If you have trouble with anxiety, we have a meditation audio. If you have trouble with addictions, we're giving you a 12-month subscription to an addiction recovery magazine. And so what we're saying is the world is hurting. The world is grieving. We have to help. We've got to be part of the solution. Anyone that goes to talkdavid.com, that's our website. Go to talkdavid.com. You will find a big banner that says 500,000 people get this program free. We are going to change this world. I don't care if you live in Africa, Greece, for God's sake, China, Japan, the United States, Canada, Mexico, Guatemala. I don't care where you live. Come, take advantage of it. Get the tools. Because, Arthur, here's the thing. Are you familiar with the man, Dr. Wayne Dyer? Does that name ring a bell?
No, I have a little bit problems with names to remember names, by the way.
So when you get a chance, when we get off the interview, Google Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dyeer.
Okay.
He is no longer with us. He died a couple years ago, but he was a major mentor to me. Oh. And he told me in 1990, when I interviewed him on my radio show, I said to him, I'm just starting this career in radio. And, do you have any tips? Can you give me, because you're so successful and so advanced. And he said this, and he shocked the pants out of me, Arthur. He said, David, give your knowledge away. And I looked at him, I said, Wayne, how am I going to have an income? He said, don't worry. The money will come. Just give it away. And here I am, 32 years later. And Arthur, we are giving $240 million worth of our products away for free. $240 million of our products. I am still following my mentor's advice. And I believe in the time of COVID, when people are shutting down and they're angry with each other and they're arguing over the pandemic and the vaccine and the political nonsense all over the world, we need logic. We need sanity, and we need tools to help us move through this insane time. Helping Americans Heal, or Helping the World Heal, is all about giving you the tools to get you out of this insanity in your mind so you can go back to living life, get back to your purpose of being on earth, and we're going to make sure we help you do it.
Thank you. Look, because our interview, it's not going to be a long one. We don't want to have long interviews, but we can have a second one. We can make part 1, part 2, and so on, So
sure.
If you think that you want to add something to this time, first, so please be free. And so,
Yeah. You know, Arthur, I think the greatest thing that we're giving the world is hope.
mm,
You know, when we don't have hope, when we sit there and go, you know, I don't know how to deal with this anxiety. What do I do with this depression? I feel embarrassed to ask for help with addiction. My relationship is crashing, but I don't know where to go. I don't have money to help myself create a new path in my career. I've got to stay in this job I hate. You know, all of those situations, people need more than anything hope. They need to know someone believes in them. They need to know that someone cares. They need to know that someone is willing to go out of their way to help them. That's what our program offers. It offers hope. I don't want people sitting on the sidelines, Arthur, saying, I don't know what to do with this anxiety, depression, addiction, relationship challenge, insomnia. Yes, you do, because we have answers. So we know that we're put on earth to help each other. We know we're put on earth to serve each other. Why not us have this program to help and serve? Your audience deserves this help. The world deserves this help. So take advantage of it. Don't become a victim saying this will never change, or the only thing my life will be better is when COVID leaves us. It may never leave us. I say that in the book. We need to create a new normal right now by being proactive in our work. So please, everyone with us today, hang on to that hope that your finances will change. Your addiction will be gone. Your anxiety, depression, and insomnia will be minimized if you do the work. Do the work. We have the work for you to do. And my hope is you take advantage of it. And regardless of COVID never stays or it leaves tomorrow, you get back to living the life on purpose.
thank you very much, David. Not just for sharing with us the story, the short story, whatever you shared with us, but also sharing your knowledge to everybody in the world to get the healing, as you say. I really do appreciate it. Till the
Arthur, you're
next
so
time.
welcome. And
Yes.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Till the next time. So, goodbye.